Good evening and welcome to the Village Board meeting for the Village of Pleasantville. Today is Monday, December 11. If you are watching live on Monday, December 11, we encourage you to call in. If you have comments or questions, our call-in number is 769-1677. As always, you can watch us live on Verizon or Optimum Cable TV and at pctv76.org. And within a few days, you can pick up an on-demand webcast of this meeting and previous meetings at pctv76.org. A shout out to PCTV for that service they provide to us. We have a meeting on Wednesday, December 27 at 8:30 a.m. in this room solely for the purpose of paying bills. And our next regular meeting will be then on Monday, January 8, 2018 at 8 p.m. with a work session at 7. So a couple of things to report. The first is we began our evening tonight with a work session with the folks from the Recycling Committee and quite a few people from the community and from other organizations. The Recycling Committee have proposed to us a plastic bag initiative that would ban single-use plastic bags under most circumstances. There are certain bags that are exempted, like deli bags and dry cleaning bags. And in its place, it would allow a store to provide a reusable plastic bag, which is a thicker plastic bag, or a reusable paper bag, but those bags would come along with a 5-cent fee in the first year, and after year one of the initiative would become a 10-cent fee. So the purpose of all of that is to incentivize all of us to use reusable bags to decrease the use of plastic and paper bags, the former being an environmental waste problem, the latter being a set of environmental problems of a different sort, even though they are biodegradable. So if anybody has any interest in that subject, I encourage you to let us all know. We are going to have that matter on for our January 8 meeting, at which point we're likely to post a hearing to provide the required public hearing to enact such a thing. So again, Patty, if we could get the draft of that legislation up on the news section of the website, so anybody who would like to read the details about what is proposed can get to it easily.
Yeah,
we encourage anybody to have any comments. The law that has been proposed is very similar to a law that was passed about a year ago by our friends in Newcastle, and they report it has been a substantial success. There are other models for these plastic bag initiatives that have been used elsewhere in the county and elsewhere in the country, but we've heard a pretty convincing argument that this two-part legislation, a ban on single-use bags and a fee on reusable bags and paper bags, is the most successful. So comments on that subject are welcome. I also wanted to report that we've received various correspondence regarding the Sunrise Senior Living proposal. As you may recall, when Jerry Liang of Sunrise came and presented to us a few weeks back the idea of a smaller 55-unit all-memory care assisted living project at the site that the Methodist Church has been offering for sale. As an initial proposal, he suggested that the footprint would be the same or very similar to what was shown previously, but the building would be 1 story lower, producing 55 units instead of 79, all memory care instead of a mix between regular assisted living and memory care, and attended to that about a 30% reduction in square footage, as well as some modest changes in the site plan. He made clear that Sunrise was willing to discuss other forms of a site plan that would be consistent with that general model, which is not, by his report, the average Sunrise format, but which matches a format they have undertaken in several other areas. So we encourage everybody who has comments on this to let us know, and we've received quite a few comments either directly by email or via the Facebook page, which we are assembling and will become part of the formal record. The board is considering all of this and will respond to Jerry and the folks at Sunrise with some feedback as soon as we've had a chance to digest all of that. But I wanted to point out that a couple of questions were asked of Sunrise when they were here, in particular an inquiry about the likely tax generation by this now reduced proposal, as well as an inquiry about what the traffic impacts would be. Sunrise responded to both of those things with tables showing how those numbers stacked up for the previous proposal of 79 units and how they predict them to stack up for the 55. So Patty, if we could get those two tables that Sunrise provided up on the web as well, folks who are interested in digging into those subjects, it's all part of the public record, and we'll put it up on the website at pleasantville-ny.gov. Have I covered that? Did I?
Yep.
So a couple of other announcements to make. The farm market has moved inside and has had its first week in its inside location at the Pleasantville Middle School. This past Saturday it was snowed out. The schools were closed and therefore the farm market didn't happen, but we'll be back next week and every Saturday thereafter, so we encourage folks to patronize the market in its indoor location. Last week, we had the second of our workshops on the Memorial Plaza Civic Space that we're at work on. We've got Phil Myrick of Pleasantville, a planner leading the planning and programming effort, and Jamie Meslin Larson of Wagner Hodgson Landscape Architecture working on the design side. We've had a raft of folks who came to the initial workshop, and many of them, as well as some new folks, came to the next workshop that we held last week. Jamie and Phil showed the results of their programming effort and showed some schematic diagrams that suggest how this space might end up working to become a multi-use public space. So again, if we can get that presentation from last week in PDF form and get that up on the web, those who are interested in the subject and hadn't had a chance to come, we encourage them to do so.
And I'll just interject that I linked to PCTV's video of the first workshop on the Facebook page, and assuming the second one will be available as well, I will do that too.
I'll send you the link tomorrow.
Okay, great.
So a bunch of things to say about that. The reason, as many of you know, that we have gotten into this is that we received a $1.5 million grant from New York State, $750,000 match by Pleasantville, so we have $2.25 million for a project that incorporates this civic space as well as various streetscape improvements and pedestrian improvements along Manville between Grant Street and Tompkins. So it's a serious game changer for us, an exciting time. One of the things we're grappling with is at the same time as we have an exciting opportunity in Memorial Plaza, the new civic space is likely to cost us some parking spaces. So we're in the midst of looking at ways in which we could buffer that loss at the same time as we achieve this goal that has been out there on the minds of this board as well as Pleasantvilleans for probably 3 decades. So a really great achievement is in sight. So
just want to say too, thanks to Jamie and Phil, I don't think that if you haven't been involved in this process, how good these two individuals are. They are at the top of their game. They have world class reputations and have really brought amazing ideas and have worked the crowds, I think, really, really well. I happened to sit with them when they came to a PRAB meeting and went over all of their results with the PRAB group, and they're doing an amazing job. So I'm very grateful that they are working with us.
That's great.
So Nicole, you want to report the Climate Smart?
Yes, so a little while ago, the Board of Trustees voted to take a Climate Smart Community Pledge, and that pledge expressed our intention to try to become certified as a Climate Smart community. And there are a number of tasks that are specifically laid out, one of the first being the establishing of a community task force. So the community task force had its first meeting this past week, which I attended as well as Mayor Scher, and it went very well. It was another one of those occasions to be proud of our community and the sort of resources that we have on hand. So it will be a while until we have any kind of specific plans that come out of that, but thought I would take the occasion to mention something that individuals in the community can do, namely, as some of you know, we are part of a community choice aggregation plan for our energy through Sustainable Westchester. Currently, we do not have the default green energy, but that is something that individuals can opt into themselves by going to westchesterpower.org and opting up to green. So that's just a friendly suggestion. I'm going to add that on the Facebook page as well.
Let me add to that friendly suggestion that the cost of the all-green option, that is sustainably produced energy as compared to the mixed source option, is itself still less than the average Con Ed bill was for the look-back period. So the great news about community choice aggregation is that you can opt to an all-green option and build more demand for sustainable energy at really little or no economic impact to yourself. All right, got that? Then, lastly, I wanted to shout out, obviously, as we have before, to the Pleasantville High School football team, which marched its way up to the Carrier Dome in Syracuse and came back with the New York State Class B New York State Championship. And that's an occasion to have a shout out to the school district, to Patty, to the police department, and to our DPW folks, and to the Pleasantville Volunteer Fire Department, who, on short notice, set up a celebratory parade that went from downtown up the hill and ended up at the high school, the reverse of our usual parade, which was appropriate to end up in front of the high school where it all began. So a really great event. Thanks, Patty. Thanks, DPW. Thanks, police.
A lot of fun. Thank you.
And thanks to the folks at the Pleasantville Volunteer Fire Department. As I imagine you could guess, that kind of short notice cooperation doesn't happen everywhere in the world. In Pleasantville, all you do is ask and they show up. So thank you. All right, any further comments?
I wanted to mention
Yeah.
about the parking meters are bagged, by the chamber, correct?
No by us.
We do that, actually.
At the request of the chamber.
At the request of the chamber, but just to
Yeah.
remind everybody that you don't have to pay, but the time adheres to it.
Correct. So you
So
don't get
I
confused.
know that always comes up. So you can park, but you have to stay within the time limits.
Thank
Yeah.
Which,
And also overnight parking, if you
Yeah.
could just mention.
173-31, nighthile parking restricted.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So-
You have a ticket in front of you,
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor.
No, it's not a ticket, it's a reminder.
Oh, I thought you.
Yeah.
I, of all
Parking
people,
got
ought
you.
to know. Bottom line is, we ask, indeed we require, that you not park your car on village streets between the hours of 1 a.m. and 7 a.m. from the first day of December to the first day of April because of snow removal. Folks say, well, why does it matter on nights when it isn't snowing? And I hope you can realize that it's just extraordinarily difficult to have a constantly variable rule, and so this is the system that has existed, and we appreciate your cooperation. So, all right, any comments from the public on any subject? 769-1677 is our call-in.
Can I just say one more thing? So some of you know that my family in California has been suffering from the fires that have been taking place out there. And there were a stretch of days when I was trying to keep track of what was going on. And so I was very aware of what they do in Ventura County and other places. So all of this is to say that it was a reminder to me how important it is to sign up for the emergency system that we have here locally. So I would encourage any of you who haven't done so to go to our website where you can click on Code Red and sign up to get alerts in the case of an emergency, because all it takes is an emergency to make you realize how vital it is to have a system like that in place.
Thank you.
That is great. Thank you for that. All right, so we're going to go to the resolutions. I want to point out to folks that a number of these resolutions reflect some transitions about to go on in our friendly village. Two longstanding, loyal, and much valued faces are going to be changing. Judy Weintraub, who is not here tonight because of a death in the family, our longstanding village clerk, will be retiring. And that person over there named Dwyer has been threatening to retire, and we have reason to believe she means it. Reason enough to believe that we are very close to announcing her replacement. We certainly expect to be able to do that in the month of January. And Patty and the person who will follow her will work together for an overlap period in order to hand over the institutional knowledge that can't ever be fully handed over, but the key pieces can be handed over. So in the course of that, a number of other changes are occurring, and Noreen Regan, who has been our deputy treasurer, is going to be moved to an administrative role, which we are excited about and will be a great, great anchor for the reorganized administration. And as you will see shortly in these resolutions, we're making a bunch of changes that reflect all of that. So, Nicole, 203.
Okay. Resolved that the pre-check register dated December 11th, 2017 is hereby approved as listed below. General Fund, $172,730.59. Special Purpose Fund, $100. Water Fund, $134,835.03. Capital Fund, $36,139.42. Refuse Fund, $4,516.79 for a total of $352,897.58.
Is there a second? Comment?
Yeah, second, I have a reimbursement check, so I don't know in there if I can actually
Oh,
second.
that's okay, you can.
I can,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
I'll second it.
That's
All right.
I just
Thank
wasn't
you.
sure.
Thank you, Tom.
We're short of team members here, so we're
No,
going to
I
have
was
to
like,
do it.
shoot. Just make it public anyway.
Yeah, you just have to disclose. it.
Okay.
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
motion approved. 204, Colleen.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby authorizes the village administrator to sign the permanent membership agreement for the village's workers' compensation insurance.
Is there a second?
Second.
Patty, you want to just report on the
Yeah,
changes this
there's just a
reflects?
There's just a few nuances in the agreement. We've been a member of PERMA for maybe 5 years now, I think. PERMA provides our workers' compensation insurance coverage. It's a consortium of municipalities. What they're doing now is they're just taking all of the different agreements that they were operating under and consolidating them into one, because they've been in existence over 30 years and people have come on with different types of language in their agreements. They've also now are compelling all of their members to create a safety coordinator position from someone within their staff. Now, we've had safety coordination meetings. We follow best practices with requiring some training on an annual basis, and Public Works has a substantial amount of training, but we have to actually designate someone to take that lead role to make sure that we are operating, with an eye toward enterprise risk, and that we are managing things as best we can. So that's the only thing that's really changing. We are signing up for that commitment, and we believe we'll be able to handle that administratively.
I had one little question about the text right before number 1. It says the member and agrees. I'm assuming something is missing there, or?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll refer that back to them for clarifying, but
It seems it should simply be the
Probably.
member agrees, shouldn't it?
Right.
Yeah, I don't, there's really
Yeah.
no third party to this, so I don't know what that would be.
Right.
Pleasantville
Thank you,
can take
Nicole.
some pride in signing and providing editorial
That's right, and we will.
commentary. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
motion approved. 205, Nicole.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby promotes Gerald Sorali to the civil service title of Water Maintenance Worker 2, effective December 2nd, 2017, at a salary of $74,310. Said appointment is subject to a probationary period of not less than 12 weeks to a maximum of 52 weeks.
I think the date was the 12th. You said the 2nd, December 12th.
Effective.
Oh, I'm
December
sorry.
12th.
December
just
12th. Thanks.
Is there a second?
Second.
Jerry has been with us quite a few years,
Since 2006, yes.
and it's a great opportunity to give him this promotion.
Yeah, this will result in about a $1,225 a year increase.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion approved. 206, Colleen.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby extends the part-time temporary appointment of Andrew Foca as lead maintenance mechanic to March 2, 2018, at a salary of $35 per hour.
Is there a second?
Second.
This provides fill-in for an employee who's been out.
Who's back on light duty
Uh-huh.
as of today. So
Oh, good.
we're encouraged that,
Right.
he's rehabilitating very well, and hopefully, we can let Andy go after the new year sometime.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. I didn't say that. Delighted to have Andy with us. Andy, as you may know, is our former lead mechanic and still the lead mechanic for the fire department, and a very talented man. So, 207.
Me. Seems rather unfair. Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby accepts the resignation of Patricia Dwyer as Deputy Village Clerk effective December 31st, 2017.
Is there a second?
Second.
So that would be Patty resigning from one of her hats.
That's the first party.
Right.
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. All right. 208, the other shoe drops.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby appoints Noreen Regan to the unexpired term of Deputy Village Clerk effective January 1, 2018 through March 31, 2018.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Did I get a second? Second.
Second.
It's obvious who would be the second.
Yeah, I have that.
All in favor? All right, welcome
Very
Steve,
good
who's
minutes.
just back from the Civil Air Patrol.
Is that your petition?
I've got
Welcome, Noreen. That Dwyer woman just up and left. We had to have an emergency appointment.
Thank you, Jonathan.
209, all right, now we've mixed it up.
Let her
far
know
we're
again while he
unanimous.
gets ready.
Go ahead, Nicole.
All right. Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby accepts the resignation of Doreen Reagan as Deputy Village Treasurer effective December 31st, 2017.
Is there a second?
Second.
now you're sneaking in. Now Judy's going to get really upset with these
Yeah.
4-0 votes. How did this happen?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved.
Oh, that's
All right,
great.
now the other shoe drops. Your opportunity, Steve.
Me, all right. Okay, resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby appoints Robin Rizzo to the unexpired term of Deputy Village Treasurer, effective January 1, 2018 through March 31, 2018, at a salary of $85,000.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Robin is a person who Mary has known for a long time, who has served ably in many different settings, including in our neighbors just to the west of Briarcliff. And we are delighted to welcome her to our team as Deputy Village Treasurer, having seen Noreen summarily depart for her new administrative post. All in favor of the appointment of Deputy Village Treasurer?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. Okay, now, if you're following this chess game, Noreen is currently out of a job, but not for long. 211, I think it's Colleen.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby appoints Noreen Regan to the civil service title of Administrative Aide, effective January 1, 2018, at a salary of $105,000. Said appointment is subject to a probationary period of not less than 12 weeks to a maximum of 52 weeks.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, this closes the loop, I think, on that whole sequence of events. Noreen has done an extraordinarily good job for us as Deputy Treasurer, and we are certain that she will do an equally good job in her new administrative role. Really happy news for us, for you, and delighted to hold on to all of you for the rest of your lives. All in favor? Aye. It's a lifetime
Congrats.
appointment. So,
Congrats.
Congratulations.
all
That's
right, Steve, 212, as long as we're in an appointing
212,
mood.
resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby appoints, delay that, the Board of Trustees hereby approves the appointment of Rosita Robertazzi as part-time recreation assistant, Clinton Street Senior Center, at a salary of $10 per hour for up to 12 hours per week.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. Welcome, Rosita. Oh, Nicole, you got 213. If Steve hadn't
If I hadn't
come,
showed
it
up.
might not have.
Just out of luck today. Okay. Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the following budget amendments. So budget transfers, okay, so amount of $3,500 from the contingent account to engineer contractual. $1,275 from legal to planning and zoning outside services. Okay, under appropriate fund balance, general fund, $15,000 is transferred from capital to renovation of DPW facility for storage. Appropriate fund balance, water fund, an amount of $7,500, transfer to capital for renovation of DPW facility for storage. Under the refuse fund, $2,500 transfer to capital for renovation of DPW facility for storage as well. Okay, increase revenue and expense general fund, $1,000 from the music festival fund goes to music festival contractual. And then increase in revenue and expense capital fund, $15,000 from interfund transfer from the general fund for renovation of the DPW facility for storage. 7,400 same goes as well to renovation of the DPW facility for storage, and then the same thing for an amount of $2,500.
Is there a second?
Second.
So the primary parts of that are for the new mezzanine being built to take advantage of
Yes.
air
There's a-
rights
There
within
is
the
a
village.
typo, though. That should be 7,500 in the increase revenue and expense to capital.
Not 7,400.
Correct. Yeah.
Is
Okay.
that accepted by the mover and the seconder?
Yes.
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 All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. 214. Colleen.
Whereas sealed bids were advertised in the official newspaper for a water main extension project along Broadway between Church Street and Lake Street, and whereas sealed bids were opened on November 22, 2017, and reviewed by the Superintendent of Public Works, engineer of the Village of Pleasantville as follows. There were 3 bidders. Highest bid was $525,350. Excuse me, lowest bid was that. Highest was $623,260. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees, based upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Public Works engineer, hereby awards the bid to Landscape Unlimited, Inc., Somers, New York, in the amount of $525,350. Said award is subject to the submittal and review of insurance documents and performance and payment bonds.
Is there a second?
Second.
So this is good news.
It's really
Yeah.
good news. I need to just address a couple of things because I think we're only showing here the 3 lowest bidders, but there was actually 11 bidders. This is one of the largest public
Really?
works,
Wow.
Call for bids that we've seen in a long time in terms of response. So we just wanted to show the 3 lowest to show that they were within a reasonable range to award this bid. They were also within range of the engineer's estimate, which was Jeff's estimate. He's done a fantastic job with this project from start to finish. But yes, we are, we're really excited to undertake this project out of the gate this spring. We are already we have all our permits in hand, and we have all of the specifications ready to go. I've discussed with Mary Schwartz, our treasurer, how we should finance this project, and we're of the opinion we should use fund balance from the water fund. We do not believe that, given the status of that funds and its fund balance and some of the growth we anticipate in the next couple of years, that we should borrow for this project. We have about $1.2 million in assigned fund balance for the water fund, so
And
we're in
the
a very
results
good...
to date suggest a healthy balance. So
Yeah, so we're...
I agree with that as well. So,
Thank you, Jonathan, for...
Thank you, Joe.
yeah. So the,
You know-
just for people to be aware, the purpose of this venture is to create a redundant means of delivering water from our tanks, as well as to improve the general hydrodynamics. Have I fairly described that, Patty?
That's true. That's true. We need to have a second means of distribution from the tanks into the system. So this transmission main will run along Broadway. It will pick up somewhere in the vicinity of Church Street and make its way up Lake to the tanks.
So there will be a period of disruption, obviously, when this work is being done, but what is the duration of the work? A month or so, do you think?
I don't want to speculate without
Right.
talking to Jeff.
Yeah.
It all depends on the contractor, the means
Yeah.
and methods. It's a
All
state
right, well, when
highway
we
involved, so.
know when the kickoff will be and the rough duration, we'll make those announcements. Maybe you can post that on Facebook. Another shout out to Facebook as a good source.
Yep.
All right, 216, Steve.
Hold on, let me get over there.
Oh, I'm sorry,
215.
215. I missed the minutes there.
Resolved that the Board of
215.
Trustees, this is a long one, hereby approves the minutes of the meeting held on November 27th, 2017.
Is there a second?
Second.
That was, among many other things, the evening when we have our annual Youth Recognition Night. 50 or 60 young people from Pleasantville honored for their service to various organizations. We congratulate them again. It's one of the proud nights of the year. You can pick that up at pctv76.org and watch for your offspring or your friends. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. Now, 216.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby authorizes the treasurer and deputy treasurer to attend the annual Munis training in April 2018 in Boston, Massachusetts, at a cost not to exceed $2,200 per person without board approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you for doing this. It must be
You're
a
gonna miss the
thrilling event.
Noreen's upset. Noreen can't go to this one.
Does it change from year to year?
Yeah.
Like, do
It
they
does,
talk
it
about
moves
different
around.
stuff? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, Munis, as you have heard, is our accounting software and various other modules to do various other things. And Mary and Noreen, soon to be Mary and Robin, play it like a violin. So, part of the reason for that is they invest their time and energies to attend things like this. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Thank you.
That is the last of our resolutions tonight. Is there any new business, any further comment from the public?
Nope.
Any reason for us to continue this venture today?
Just wish people
All
happy,
right.
healthy holidays.
This is the last of our meetings before the
Christmas.
various holidays.
Happy Hanukkah.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. Celebrate whatever it is you celebrate. We encourage you to have a great time, and we look forward to an extraordinarily successful and eventful 2018. There's an awful lot of stuff cooking in the village of Pleasantville, about which you will hear more later. So thank you all. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good night. Thank you for your attention. Happy New Year.
Yay.